I will cut you up and turn you into two normal-sized people.
Yeah, you're gonna make me your little chum bucket.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to the Slash or Smash podcast.
Hey, welcome everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I'm John.
Get fucked, John.
The fuck with the newspaper hat is Matt. You might remember him from previous episodes. And then we got a guest. It's Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hello.
There's certainly not somebody laying right behind him, so that's cool.
We actually have real talent on the show. It's crazy.
And we're dragging Jimmy with us. Matt and Jimmy, how are you doing tonight? Matt, don't be fucking over dramatic.
I'm not drunk yet, and I'm sad about it.
I was doing better before that second movie.
Yeah.
That is very fair. And I thought Beneath the Darkness was a boring shithouse of a movie. And then Jaws the Revenge stepped in. And I think we might have a champ. But let's discuss. Jimmy, me and Matt have already talked about Beneath the Darkness, and we think it is an unrealistic, boring, highly unnecessary. A lot of this could have been avoided very easily. The dialogue and the writing is shit. Other than Dennis Quaid, there really wasn't much that saved it. What's your takes on it?
Yeah. When I first watched it, I thought it was decent, and then I must have grew up because I watched it again, and it was a shit movie.
What to you really bothered you about it?
Pretty much just the dialogue.
What did y'all think of the, so I thought it was a school cafeteria, but now I'm starting to think it was just like a restaurant.
Oh, the pizza restaurant with the rollerblades going back and forth.
Yeah, so like the camera during the scene rotates around the kids while they talk. It never stops, but it also switches directions. So if you really focus on what the camera's doing, you almost get sick.
I think that the waitresses are also the camera women. We'll go with that.
It could be.
Yeah, it was just a waitress zooming by.
Yep, on rollerblades in a pizza place.
They mounted the camera.
Fucking pizza.
They mounted the cameras under the tray of food every time they passed. It was a bad movie. It was just. So you find out that he killed the guy in the beginning because the guy was fucking his wife, and obviously Dennis Quaid has some weird obsession with his wife. Justified. Okay, I'll give it that. That is justified. If somebody is fucking your wife, you'd probably do the same.
I don't think well, you know what? Sure.
Okay, you'd be angry, and maybe you'd get irrational.
So let me get this straight, John. So you would murder if you found out somebody was fucking your wife. I just want everybody to know just where your stance is on it.
Because this is recorded and going on the internet, no.
Oh, okay.
I'd be upset.
Ah.
But no, I wouldn't ruin my life over it. Like, life moves on. If that happens, you take the hurt, you move on, and you start over. You start a podcast.
Yeah, I just murder for fun, not revenge, personally. But
you start a podcast called My Wife the Whore. Just kidding.
Wow.
Kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding. My wife didn't cheat on me, so it's not about me or her.
This hypothetical is going down a really dark path, so moving on.
It is, but okay, so that's justified. So then you keep your wife, which is weird, and then kids are like, they keep being like, oh, it's obviously ghosts, when it's like the mortician guy could have just started dating, or had somebody over, or had family in town and they just danced. Like, it wasn't weird enough to justify breaking in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that happens, and then he catches the kids, and he breaks the kid's neck.
Yeah. I mean, who hasn't done that before? I mean, come on.
It's just, that's why there's so many high school kids, so you can break their necks.
So flimsy. I mean, jeez.
It practically breaks itself, really. But the weird thing is, like, he didn't kill everybody who broke in, so they were still going to go tell the police that he had his dead wife in their house.
Correct.
So breaking that kid's neck didn't solve anything.
No.
It just created a lot more chaos, and I don't. There were a lot of really bad setups for shit that happened later on in the movie, and it's just everything was so unnecessary. Not like cabin fever unnecessary, but just unnecessary.
At least you could argue the fact that this guy was just wasn't in his right mind, which clearly that is the case, and his emotions take over his judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, you can argue that fact, but with normal people, unlike cabin fever, where these are supposed to be normal people and not psychopath fucking maniacs, at least you can have some of that logic in this case. In that movie, you can't, because that's just stupid.
It was stupid. Would you guys say that Dennis Quaid's acting somewhat salvaged this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, except for the fact that he didn't play the good guy as well as I thought he should have, to bring the difference between the two egos that he had.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know, he was like a model of the town. He did the...
But he still felt creepy.
Yeah, he was hella creepy. Yeah, that's true. I mean...
Just creepy like a mortician.
Yeah.
As I liked him in it. I didn't like anybody else. Maybe the sheriff, but I think it's just because he had a southern drawl and he was like a sheriff in Texas. That's about it.
Do you think you could be a mortician, John?
I don't know. I've thought about this before.
I believe
you. I've field dressed a deer a couple times in my life. When I was younger, I used to go hunting, and I cut the deer open and took out the guts and shit, and it didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. The smell was a little ripe, but it wasn't like unnerving. But that's a deer, and they're furry. I don't think I could cut open a human unless it was a really hairy guy.
I would assume a human's probably about the same thing.
I would imagine too, but I don't know. For some reason in my mind, it's just a little too... I don't know. I couldn't do it. What about you, Jimbo?
I don't think I could get past the fluids and the smells.
Yeah, I watched a movie where it was about a guy that was a mortician. He was like eating a sandwich while he was doing like the embalming stuff, and he just like set the sandwich on the corpse, and I'm like...
That would be gone in 60 seconds.
Was that it?
That would be it.
Yeah, I was...
That'd be Sphinx, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you saying it's from the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, or that sandwich would be gone in 60 seconds?
With you, it would be gone in 5 seconds. From the movie, yeah, it's from 60 seconds.
Side note, fuck you.
I mean, I get that.
Wait, was that my bed just talking?
Jimmy, did your bed talk?
I think so.
What did it say?
Oh, I think Jimmy's talking out of his ass again.
Such a good joke. Is there anything you guys wanted to add or observations you caught about this movie or anything at all?
As a grown man now that has his own yard, the moment I knew the movie was going to be bad was when the kid cut the grass and it panned out and there was no grass in the guy's yard. It was all dirt and roots.
It was so bad. That is a middle-aged man observation about a movie right there, and I love it.
One thing I noticed is that on one hand, when they first break in, they pop out a screen. The second time that Travis breaks in, he breaks the fucking window instead of just popping out a screen again.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
I didn't catch that either.
It's very stupid. I don't understand it.
That is really stupid. Yeah, there's just so much that, like, she's caught in that box in the ground in his yard, not covered up, and she's, like, coming to and groaning. Maybe she's not making a lot of noise, but that box was not sealed properly, and there was a cop kneeling down maybe 2 to 3 feet away. There's not a chance you wouldn't hear that and go, what the fuck was that sound?
And it wasn't buried 6 feet down. It wasn't very deep at all.
No, there's no reason. You should have been like, oh, what the fuck was that? And, like, lifted it up. Or something. It was not reasonable to be like, oh, tomatoes, huh? Well, fuck every sensory thing that's going on around me.
Alright, well, clearly the movie sucked, but...
Do you remember how much money this movie made in theaters?
Fucking nothing, I thought.
Jimmy, do you want to venture a guess how much this movie made in theaters?
I would say like $1 million.
That is way too high. It made $9,600.
How much did
with
it
a
cost?
budget of? Do you want to guess?
$4 million.
Matt?
To me, it seems like a low-budget movie, so I'm going to go $1 million.
$7 million.
Jesus Christ.
Dennis Quaid probably got 3.
I hope he got something. Yeah, that's a heartbreaker. Trivia, let's do it.
All right. Trivia for what the fuck was this piece of shit called again?
Jimmy. Oh, the movie. Beneath the Darkness.
Beneath the Darkness. Okay. How old was Travis when his sister died? We'll start with Jimmy.
Was he 7?
That is correct. Moving on. To John. Travis's sister's name was what?
Aaron.
That is also correct. Moving on. Question number 3. To Jimmy. What does Travis's mom do for a career?
Oh, man. Was she a nurse?
That is correct.
Nice one.
Back to John. John, what kind of car did Brian have?
Which one was Brian?
I can't tell you that. Figure it out.
Was that the girl's boyfriend at the beginning? Yeah, because the other one was Danny. Brian drove an El Camino.
That is correct.
Danny drove an Oldsmobile Cutlass. I hope that wasn't the next question.
I am just writing up the scores because I should probably do that. Because that's the thing.
Ooh, what does the winner get?
Middle finger.
Where? All right, you can go on with your question.
Oh, okay. What does it say on the side? So this is for Jimmy now. What does it say on the side of the van for the mortician's van?
What was that other last name?
You said it out loud,
yes.
didn't you?
For some reason, I have Hollerman and... Oh, shit, what was his name now?
Dennis Quaid.
Hollerman and Quaid.
That is incorrect. John, do you want to take a crack at it? You can steal.
Havardyman and Chungerson?
That's incorrect. The correct
what was it?
Answer is Harvison and Eli.
Oh.
No points.
Harvison. Okay.
Added question onto the van. What was wrong with the van that it was originally in the shop? What part was suffering?
Fuck.
So this would go to John. Yeah.
Oh, he said it on the phone.
Yeah, he did.
Fuck. I'm just going to throw out catalytic converter, but I know it's not right.
That is incorrect, but it was a good guess. Jimmy, you want to steal?
I don't know, but it was $1,500 and it would take a week. I'm going to say a water pump.
That's incorrect. It was the torque converter. The torque converter. All right.
Those funeral vans are known for that.
Oh, this would be for Jimmy. What type of tobacco product did the sheriff consume?
Chewing tobacco.
That is correct. For an additional point.
Too.
Well, for John, what type of tobacco product did Vaughn use?
Just
Eli Vaughn.
Like a
I should
vape?
say Eli. Yeah,
vape
that's
pen?
correct. That's correct.
Okay, I was like, wait, how specific are we getting here? Because I don't know much about those.
Nope, that's correct. One, two, three.
That's where he gets his penis
One,
bills.
2, 3. We're tied at 3 for each of you.
Ooh.
Close game. Okay, so the last person, John. Jimmy, what religion was Danny?
He was Jewish.
That is correct.
Really?
Yes.
At what point in that movie did they say that?
The funeral.
The funeral.
Oh.
I mean, it's pretty hard to not notice the rabbi with the yarmulke on and everything, John.
I don't even know if I was paying
I
attention.
knew that even though I was focused on the guy with the leather coat in the background.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That guy had a very distinguished look.
That guy's got his own trivia whole session. We're not getting into that. Okay, John, what number was Danny's jersey?
Oh, for fuck's sakes. 12.
That is correct.
Holy shit!
That is correct. Fuck, this is close. This is the last question. You are all tied up at 4 each. Fuck. Okay. And unfortunately, it's in Jimmy's hands, so get fucked, John. How many times did Eli shoot the revolver?
3 times.
John, do you want to take a guess at it?
2.
It was 3 times. Jimmy wins trivia. Get fucked, John.
There was 3?
Yes. There was once at the inside his house, once when he was running out of the yard, out directly outside the house, and then one more time during the fight scene at the graveyard, the gun went off.
Fuck you. Alright, good call. Good trivia.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I try.
Alright. Brief synopsis of Jaws the Revenge. Does anybody want to take it?
Fucking ass.
That's
there you
not
go.
a summary of the movie, but it is very close.
I mean,
Pilot meets woman. Pilot crashes in water. Shark tries to eat the Brodies.
Basically, yes. Apparently a shark decides it wants to finish taking out this family, which sharks are known to do. I've watched Shark Week. This is common practice. So the family, to get past this whole shark easily taking them out in water, decides to fly to where there's even more water. Call me crazy. Doesn't seem like a great solution. Let's get your thoughts, Jimmy. He loved it.
I don't even know if you can call that a movie. It doesn't deserve to be called a movie. I don't like that Jaws did not take place in Amity. And I don't like the fact that I had to watch Ducky over and over and feel really bad that she's no longer with us.
That was really fucked up. I did not know anything about that. So while the movie was playing, I kind of went on ChatGPT and quickly asked it quick about what happened. And wow. Yeah, that was... that little girl was slated to be an amazing actress and have an amazing life. And that is fucking horrible that it was cut short like that.
You know, the worst part about that is, John, is that Burt Reynolds, like I said, he had to do some scenes that she had already completed, but he still had to do some voiceovers. The ending scene in All Dogs Go to Heaven, he had to do, fully knowing that child died.
That is so fucking horrible.
He had to redo it several times because he couldn't stop breaking down. Burt Reynolds was a pretty fucking manly dude.
Man, I mean, from the bottom of our hearts from this podcast, if you got fucking mental shit going on, get help. Or try to help people get help. Whatever you got to do, because fuck that. No kid that young should be taken away. All right, back to the fun. Now that you fuckers made it sad, Matt,
we made it sad. I believe you brought that shit up, you fucker.
No, you literally brought it up, and I said, "Hey, I looked what happened."
Oh wait a minute, Jimmy brought
it up. I like to bring people down.
Oh, Jimmy, you're the fucking piece of shit.
You're the fucking piece of shit. You suck, Jimmy.
I have a dark
soul.
Fucking
invite you on the podcast, and you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna come in here and just suck the fun out of here."
If this sad stuff lives in my brain, I have to make it live in yours.
There's not much fucking fun to begin with when we're talking about this shit here.
These movies were horrid. Matt, your take on Jaws the Revenge?
I don't have anything to say about this Hallmark movie of two old people falling in love. One crazy old lady falling in love with a drug dealer who clearly is a drug dealer.
It was never specified in the movie that he was a drug dealer.
I mean, come on. He threw away a plane like it was nothing. That was his livelihood. He gambles like nonstop, and it doesn't seem to bother him that he loses all this fucking money.
You know, you're really making some good points here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Batman's
butler deals in drugs. Batman's butler deals in drugs. I'm sorry, Alfred was a major drug dealer in his time.
What was his name? The actor?
Hoagie?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. So they said that he hardcore regretted this movie, and he actually missed accepting an award for a different movie to finish filming this one. And he's like, "That's the biggest regret of my life." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Wow.
I get that."
Yeah.
Horrible. I mean, his acting was good, but this movie was shit. This movie was up for what is it? Like the Razzie, like the worst movie, one of the worst movies ever. Instead of like the Oscar, you get the Razzie. It was up for that, and then like 7 Raspberry Awards, which apparently the old lady won one for like worst actress.
Yeah, I believe that.
She wasn't great.
No, she was terrible.
She was bad. The whole premise was bad. It was boring as fuck. The only thing that could have made this movie worse was if Michael Caine and that old bitch had a really, like, intimate sex scene where it was very graphic. That's the only thing that could have made this movie worse. Other than that, the shark was so fucking bad.
Mm-hmm. Michael Caine was the best thing about this whole movie, that's for sure.
Second best. I'm pretty sure you meant the first best is when the fucking ship hit the shark at the end and it blew up. Because you know when ships hit stuff, it's like a fucking
on impact. Yeah,
it's like a fucking bomb.
I don't know. Like this might be a contender, to be honest.
This might be a contender. So I remember watching this movie when I was younger, and like obviously I was at that age where like you pay attention for 3 minutes and then run away and play G.I. Joes and then come back and like pay attention, that type of shit. And I was like, oh, this wasn't all that bad. Like, I remember Jaws 3 being worse. But watching it now, wow, is this fucking boring. And like Matt said, it's almost like a Lifetime movie. Or Hallmark you said. But yeah, that nailed it. I mean, throw in a few shark death scenes and yeah, that was it.
And let's put it this way, none of the characters that you get to know in this movie, and none of them actually die. It's a horror movie, and none of them actually die. You have the initial intro death, which to a character you barely get to know at all.
Yeah.
You create a background of these characters, and you kill none of them.
Why did they have to bring Christmas into this movie?
And New Year's, fuckers.
Yeah, you're right. I never even thought about that. There's how many deaths are in this movie?
2. Technically 2.
Yeah,
the cop at the beginning and then
banana boat.
Yeah,
yep,
that's it.
That's it. And we don't even know technically if that lady on the banana boat died or not, because Jake was still fucking alive somehow. So maybe the shark has such teeth of fucking rubber. I don't know.
That is such horseshit. He should have been dead. Do you think they just like rewrote it later and they're like, we can't kill Jake?
They turned it into a fucking family movie. You tried to have a horror movie that was an all-around family-friendly movie. It's like, okay, fine. Why don't you just do some supernatural bullshit stuff then? I don't.
Somewhere somebody was like, I know, we could do another Jaws. We'll bring back all the people that survived the first one, the family, and then Jaws is just simply set on getting revenge on these people. Both of these movies, each one of you can take a turn, but do you think there's maybe something that would have or could have saved these movies somehow? Something maybe you would have changed where it's like, oh yeah, if maybe if they would have did a little bit of this and this could have been a decent movie.
I think with the Beneath the Darkness, if they didn't do the whole it's a ghost thing, if these teenagers just saw him with a corpse and they decided to take matters in their own hands, that might have been something good.
I like that angle. Like maybe they were Brian and Abby were there at like a makeout spot and you could actually kind of see into the window of his house and you saw him with his dead wife and they're like, wait a minute, she's dead. And then they tell the police and they're like, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. We searched the house and they're like, all right, let's take it upon ourselves or something. That maybe could have been decent.
I think the premise, like the base story is garbage, to be honest. I think that you'd have to really rewrite a lot of this whole mortician thing. I would personally turn him into more of a serial killer aspect in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, maybe more like a pronounced psyche break, when his wife died.
Mm-hmm.
Something more visually to be like, oh yeah, this dude fucking snapped and kind of lost it, and this is why he's killing. Not just, oh, he killed this guy because he was fucking his wife, and then
maybe something along the lines of like
keep killing?
She died in a fire or something, and she's trying to rebuild something in her image, based on body parts he sees that remind him familiar parts of her. I don't know.
Oh, I like that. I think between the two of you, that's something that's really good and could be that could have saved it.
Or she really loved her funeral home, and in order to keep it alive, he had to kill everybody in town to keep business coming in.
I guess to some degree.
I love that.
It's better than like, oh, your sister died and you saw a ghost, so that makes us think that this is a ghost in this house, and.
Or maybe he sells parts on the black market or some shit as well as being a serial killer. I don't know.
What would have been different had they not put in that whole sister ghost thing?
I mean, it didn't really contribute anything being in there. So I don't... No. The sister even existing doesn't really contribute anything.
No. It didn't need to be there.
No.
All right, Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws.
More action. It would just, I mean, you could have cut out the love story bullshit and way more action.
Yes.
Again, like, it would need an entire rewrite. That's one thing these both have in common. The basis of them is just stupid to begin with.
Yes. Jimmy, anything to add?
Yeah, because, like, in the original Jaws terrorizes the town. And in this one, it's like, oh, he just showed up and he's hanging around with the Brody boat. And that's it. Like,
Brody boat.
It's like putting a fucking house on a foundation of ice cream. Like, there's just nothing there.
Is there a lot of land for sale that's mainly made up of ice cream that we could build a structure upon?
You mean, like, I said a foundation, John, not land, you fuck.
Well, what do you build shit on, Matt? You build it on air?
I'm gonna build something on air. I don't know. I got nothing with that.
It's like something my dad would say to me when I was being an asshole. I agree. It was stupid. That movie was highly unnecessary. I did also read when I was looking up shit about that Jaws movie, which there wasn't a lot, but they literally filmed the whole movie in like 5 or 6 months. Like, it was just a shit. They were just like, let's just fucking get it done, get it out, call it good. So I don't think the studio really gave a shit either.
I always wonder how these movies get greenlit. Do they just have to make a quota? Like, we have to make so many movies in a year?
So I found that in order for a studio to retain the license for, like, a said property, like Jaws or Spider-Man or whatever, blah, 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 they have to come out with a movie every certain couple of years. So I think when they get, like, the paper that's like, the license is going to end soon, they're like, oh, fuck, but put something out. And that's how you get these really shitty movies. But do you want to guess the budget for Jaws?
No.
This movie came out in 1987.
10 million.
Well, I'm going to say 3 million.
$23 million.
Oh, fuck.
And that's the shark they came up with?
Right? Do you know how much money this movie made?
Fucking less than that. It lost money. It made money.
$51.9 million. It more than doubled its money.
How?
I think in the 80s, you got to remember that they're really, like, you didn't have slashers. You didn't have psychological shit. There wasn't a lot going on.
Fucking Freddy and Jason and Michael and all this other shit going on. What are you talking about?
Barely, though. I mean, like, it just kind of started. I think you saw the name Jaws and you went, oh, I remember seeing Jaws.
I think that's probably what it was living under, was the coattails or whatever of the previous Jaws movie, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And maybe the trailer was really good. The whole trailer was just all the scenes of the shark, and then you get there and it's a love story between two old people in the Caribbean.
Maybe they're like, it's a love story featuring a shark, and everyone's like, shark love story?
Oh, Jaws gets
Sharks fall in
married?
love? Michael Caine and Jaws have sex? All right. On that note, sorry, Michael Caine, if you're listening to this, but I know you're not. What are we voting here? Which movie moves on as the worst of the two? I gotta be honest, I'm putting my hand up for Jaws.
I'm putting my hand up for Jaws.
My hand's up for Jaws, too.
That was bad, man. Matt couldn't even come up with trivia.
No,
That's literally how bad this was.
I came up with 3 things. So technically, I do have enough for us to do trivia. I have 3 questions.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with an easy one. What was the name of the boat?
Jimmy?
It's
I'll start with Jimmy.
Neptune's Folly.
That is correct. Jimmy got that.
I said your name because I didn't know what it was.
John, what is a funny bone sandwich?
Oh, I'm glad that you asked. So a funny bone sandwich is like a Hertz donut, but instead of punching them in the arm, you punch them right here in their funny bone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't fucking... It's not a real question. Okay. You don't get shit for that, John. Get fucked.
It's just like life.
Yeah. For John, what did Carla get for her present, for her Christmas present? Carla is the little girl.
Oh, a tea set.
Yeah, there you go.
Because every little girl deserves to have a tea set.
Last question. This is not an easy one.
I thought Carla was the mom.
What is the number on the back of the plane?
No, I did not do that. I thought about it, but I was like, no, that's too stupid.
What's the name of the shark chasing the Brodies?
Who are the 2 crewmates' names other than Jake and Michael?
No, no idea.
Oh my god.
I don't even have a guess.
I think they only said it like a very short amount of times too. So, Bob, you say, and
Bob and Thurman.
Bob and Thurman. Okay, Jimmy, you don't want to even guess.
Kevin and John.
Kevin and John. You're both incorrect. It was Clarence and William.
Clarence.
I feel like Bob is close to Will, and Thurman and Clarence. I was right there.
So, that being said, Jimmy wins trivia because he actually won a round.
Damn it! I'm so bad at trivia.
You're bad at life.
I am. That's it. Enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. That's it. We got nothing more. These movies sucked. Jaws wins and it moves on. I'm so excited to watch it again. And
yep. I'm excited to force Tiff to watch this. That's what I'm excited about.
I am too. She's usually got some pretty good takes, and I'm curious as to where she's going to go on this one, because
it might be your favorite movie, watching 2 old people fall in love.
Is that what Tiff loves?
I don't know.
Seems like something she's into. Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on and doing this with us.
No problem.
Jimmy, where can people find you at?
Nowhere.
I was going to say, don't say your address.
I have no handles.
You can find him in his front yard drinking a beer with his tidy whities under.
Matt, do you want to plug anything? What are you doing?
A whole lot of nothing. So leave me the fuck alone, everyone.
That's it. If you really want to impress Matt, drop booze on his front porch and leave immediately.
Yep.
All right.
Or later on in life on my grave. Because chances are I won't be in it, and I'll just take it anyways.
I'm gonna get like one of those, like a tiny little post hole digger, just big enough for the neck of a bottle, and I'm just gonna crack open whiskey and just dump it right in that hole, and just let it slowly drain and down to your grave.
What a waste. Oh well.
That's what they said about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his gravestone. Here lies Matt.
What a waste.
Hey, if you want, you can get the guys from Beneath the Darkness to dig your grave. About 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think underneath that saying it would just be the Marlboro logo. I think I'd be happy with that.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Tell your friends. Rate us. I don't know. Do whatever the fuck gets more people to watch us.
Say negative comments about us. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
See how
many clever fat jokes you can make about me in our comments.
I need tips.
Yes, he does. All right. Stick around for more episodes coming up, and hopefully you get to see Jimmy's beautiful face again. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Nugga
There it is.
That might be trademark. Don't use that.
No, we're using it. It's staying in. I'm making t-shirts. and pasta.
Jimmy isn't actually a person. He's a puppet, and that person's controlling him.
Yes.
Oh, no. Oh, no, buddy. We're going to hell together.
God damn it.